perfect person. Well, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I am obviously not Nancy Berggren. I know that you all jumped to the conclusion that she's absolutely perfect, and you'd be absolutely right. She is absolutely perfect. But she called on Thursday and let me know she's not able to make it today, and so she sends her love, and she will be here to see us next month. So all is well, and thank you for jumping to that conclusion. I was so happy that Dr. Nancy was going to do the topic of anger as a force for change, because I saw that topic title and thought, oh, for crying out loud. And so I have had a fun time with it for these last few days. I've gone from over here to this is ridiculous to this is awesome. So, and my printer's not working, so there's nothing, who cares? So, first I want to talk about what is anger? What are we talking about with anger? Anger is one of these things, like almost everything we as humans tend to produce with our thinking minds here, a product that grows out of the concept of separation. And it just grows naturally. It just grows naturally. It's like a little weed that just grows out. And you know, in the love that is, the capital L love, the love that we say God is, and the love that we truly are, there simply is no anger. Absolutely, there just is none. The love of God, the love that we truly are, isn't love that exists because it's the opposite of fear, or because it's the opposite of hate. It is the love that is because there is nothing else but love. Human love is the opposite of fear. It is the opposite of hate. And in order for human love to be what it is, it needs its opposite. And that is why you can be so in love with somebody, and the very second you feel like maybe that has changed for them, you're immediately afraid. You might be a little angry. You might be saying, well, I thought you loved me. I thought I loved you. I don't know. Maybe I don't. You know what? And I mean, we can go from I love you so much to you rotten in a second. That's human love. And that's all right, right? It's all right. It's sticky and needy and grasping and this sort of thing. And this is where hate comes from. This is where anger comes from. We wouldn't have anger if we didn't have love, right? Because let's think about what we get angry about. This shouldn't be happening to me. This shouldn't be happening to that person or that person. You shouldn't be treating those people that way. This isn't fair. This isn't just. This isn't right. All of those things come from love, come from the idea that what I should be experiencing is love. What I should be experiencing is goodness. What that person should be experiencing is love. What we should be treating those people with love. And it makes me angry when that doesn't happen, right? So it comes out of love. I was just talking to Jordan a little bit ago and talking about how when David reacts with anger, I want to just sit down and talk him through it. Tell me why you're angry. Let's talk about it. And I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't be angry and all, right? And you can't do this. You have to let kids deal with their emotions. I hate it. I do not like it. And the reason is that I grew up with a lot of anger. From the time I was just in my mother's belly and my alcoholic father screaming all of the time to up until I was 45 or however old I was when I had the experience I had. I was angry. I was full of rage. Something happened to me when I was 5 years old. The 20-some-year-old son of the babysitter did something to me that, you shouldn't do to children. And I guess it hurt me so bad that I didn't even remember it until I was 15 years old, and a girl wanted to be my girlfriend, and then all of a sudden I remembered it and realized how filthy I was, and I could never be with somebody like that. I could never have a girlfriend because I'm gross. And when I turned 16, I grabbed a rifle and I put it in the back seat of the car, and I went over to his house, and I sat outside of his house and I waited. I don't know if he still lived there or not. And I waited, and I waited, and I am so lucky that I didn't see him, because that anger wanted to express. And my life would be a lot different if that anger expressed. And I was filled with rage for my whole life, just filled with rage. And then I went to kind of drop out of society. I went to work at this horse ranch, and I thought, oh, now I'm going to be a cowboy. This is awesome. And it was owned by like a small-time gangster, so I'm like, I'm in a mafia movie and a cowboy movie. I mean, this is incredible. This is great. But this was a guy who didn't want to spend a whole lot of money, and so the vet didn't want to come by. And within 2 weeks of being on the ranch, one of the horses colicked, which is its stomach kind of twists into a knot. And that horse, Princess Two-Step, she died. I held her head while she died. And then this was a thoroughbred horse. Sorry, guys. This was a thoroughbred horse where we raised thoroughbreds for the track. And he was just hoping for that winner, He was a guy who liked to bet on horses, and so now he was going to be the guy who raises up horses. And let me tell you something about horse racing. It's gross. It's gross. The Kentucky Derby, I don't watch it. It's gross. Anyway, when a horse can't run, when a horse can't perform anymore, you put him down. And when you don't have a vet, someone else has to do it, and that someone was me. That turned out to be my job. And that ruined me. It just ruined me. And it made me more angry. It gave me horrible nightmares. And I held on to that anger until the point where I was sitting in an emergency room, and I was getting my wrist stitched up because I had tried to hurt myself. When I was sitting outside, the life draining from my body, I thought, I can't believe I just did that. Can't believe I just did that to myself. And then I thought, I did it. I did it. I finally get to go. And all of a sudden, I saw the trees blowing, and I saw they were wreathed in gold, and it was so beautiful, so gorgeous. And the pain just left me. And I realized, oh, I want to live. I want to live. And that started the process of me being able to deal with this anger, of going and getting a therapist. Then an awakening happened. The anger was healed. Anger's not a force for change. Anger's not a force that creates anything. When Shakespeare said life is whatever he said, life is a stage or something, it's a drama, and we are merely players on the stage, right? That's true. That's 100% true. This is all a drama, and it's all created by the simple fact that we think we're separate, and so we create this world where we're separate people and blah, 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 all this crap. And when we have anger, like I had anger, and we act on our anger, it doesn't change anything. It just continues to maintain this craziness that goes on. These wars that happen between nations and between groups and between people, even in the same family. Right? And we think, well, the DNC or the RNC or the NRA or the NAACP or the NFL, some group, CSL, we're going to come along and change it. But a group isn't going to change it. I am. You are. You are. You are. You are. And Jordan's right. I'm going to let myself feel. Because anger is a part of being human. It happens. So, what are we going to do with that anger? Right? We can act on it. We can hold it in. I've told you a story about it. What happens when you hold it in, it turns into rage. Or we can act on it. We can be Jesus and go into the temple and overturn the tables, right? The money changers and the people doing business in his father's temple and our mother father's temple. But what did Christ learn from that? Oh, I just showed the people and the leaders exactly what they wanted to see. They wanted to call me a rebel. They wanted a reason to put me in jail and persecute me, and I just gave it to them. I gave in to my anger, I blasted off, and I gave them exactly what they wanted. If you watch the movie Gandhi, or you learn about Gandhi's life, right? He was angry. But he didn't act on anger. He acted on love. He had discernment, and he moved forward with anger. He was energized. He was awoken by anger. He got up like you do when you're upset, filled with it. But in discernment, in love, he moved forward. And when the people who were following him acted in anger and started persecuting other people and harming and killing other people, what did he do? He went on hunger strike. And he wouldn't eat food until the fighting stopped. He did that twice. Until they finally both times said, Gandhiji, we will stop, we have stopped. The fighting has stopped. He said, okay, fine. Now we'll move forward. Perhaps I'll take a little lemon in my water, was what he said. Because he knew that fighting is going to maintain the status quo, and he wasn't interested in maintaining the status quo. He wanted something new. He wanted freedom for his people. He didn't want to give his power away by expressing it as anger. He wanted to maintain that power, the only power that is, by expressing the power of love. You see it in the story of Martin Luther King Jr. as well. And nonviolent resistance, right? And so if you would imagine there's a rocket ship on the launching pad, and they do that little countdown when it's on Cape Canaveral. Before they do the countdown, it's like the smoke is going out. That's anger. That's anger. That's anger. So much energy, so much concentrated. Whoa, where's all this energy been all my life, baby? I feel like so full of energy right now. Right? It's not very often that you're in meditation and you're in stillness and you're like, yeah. It's a little more like, hey, cool, baby, cool, baby, cool. When you get angry, you want to seek change, you get full of anger and you start on the launching pad, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We've seen what happens when you launch and there's no discernment, there's no unity, and the rocket just blows up. We got to start over again. And when there's unity, when there's a great group of people who come together to work on this thing, to use their love, their drive, their desire to let's go someplace we've never been before. It works. There's liftoff. We need that discernment. We need that unity. We need to, as Ernest Holmes says, coincidentally and funnily in the section on constipation in our Science of Mind textbook. Am I right? I thought so. We need to transform that anger into love. We need to take time. Take time. And the reason I said anger, it happens naturally, is because we don't need to take time beating ourselves up for being angry. It happens. And we don't need to fool ourselves thinking, if I express this anger, it's going to do something good. It's only going to maintain the status quo, which is nothing. The status quo is nothing. But if I turn that anger into love, if I use discernment, if I let go, if I surrender, if I am in acceptance, if I forgive. Right, this month we're talking about the power of forgiveness. If I forgive myself, if I forgive others for whatever perceived slight. And there are things that happen in the world that are more than a perceived slight. They're nasty, awful, terrible things. And anger is not an unreasonable reaction to those things. But if I can forgive, if I can say, I forgive them for they know not what they do. They have no idea what they're doing. If they knew who they were, if they knew who their brothers and sisters were, they would never do what they're doing. I know that. I know that. And as A Course in Miracles tells us, there's two kinds of human behavior. There's the call or the cry of love, the expression of love, and a call for love. And when we're hurting somebody else, when you're hurting yourself, that's a call for love. You're crying out for love. And so what do we need to meet that with? Love. Sometimes we meet it with anger. Sometimes we match that anger with anger. It's human. It's all right. But eventually we need to meet it with love. We need to let down our defenses and say, I'm tired of this. I'm angry about it being angry. I'm sick of being angry. And if that's what anger does, if it burns in you so hot that you realize, I don't want this anger. I don't want this hatred. I don't want the sickness polluting my body. I don't want the sickness polluting my world. I'm tired of it. Awesome. Then you can make the choice for something new. Then you can let go. Then you can surrender. And what fills you is what you truly are, your love. And from there, limitless possibilities. Anything is possible. Everything is possible. What people call miracles, but are really just the expressions of love. I love that man who did what he did to me when I was a child. I love him so much. I forgive him 100%. If he was here today, I would hug him. I don't know why you did that. I don't need to know why. It doesn't matter. You set me on the road to where I am today, and I love where I am today. And I don't know why I needed to go through that at that horse ranch, but I did, and I'm not sad about it. And after dealing with it, I'm not ashamed of it either. I'll stand right up here and tell you about it. I think part of the reason that I didn't want to talk about anger is what I said. I grew up with such anger within me that I don't like to talk about anger, to the extent that I don't even like to admit necessarily when I get angry now, and I do get angry now. I'm not some awakened perfect being. I still get angry about things, and I don't like it. I can't do anything about it if I don't admit it, if I don't see. Again, as Jordan's song said, can't do anything about it if I don't see it. And then I can make another choice. Who wants to make another choice? Yeah. I see you, Portia. Yeah. I see you, Poet Laureate of Kern County. I see you back there. Woo! Next week, we're going to talk about fear as a compass. It's going to segue real nice into what we're talking about today. Anger is not righteous. But it happens. We don't deny it. And according to Jerry, it's necessary. Apparently it is. We wouldn't be hearing from the voice of God saying that if we didn't need to hear it. Apparently it's necessary. It's never going to create anything that isn't maintaining the status quo. So we transform it into love. We transform it into peace, into giving, into compassion, into forgiveness. And it's a whole new world. Heaven on earth. I am going to go into affirmative prayer. If you would like to close your eyes or soften your gaze or widen your gaze, however you like to feel centered. What I know is that there is truly one energy, one power. That power is something we call love, joy, peace, harmony, wisdom. We call it God. We call it Allah. We call it the One. We call it the Christ. Elohim, Yahweh. There are countless names for this one, the thing itself. What is? And this one is truly all that is. It is expressing as me. It is in me, it flows through me, it is all around me, it is as me, and this is true for each one. For everything seen and unseen is the one, is our beautiful Creator. And so I know for each one that we set aside our grudges. We let go with a deep breath. We say, I am right here, right now, and all is well. I am filled with the love and the light of the one. I let go and I let God. And with that, our anger, little by little, is transformed and transmuted into love, into joy, into forgiveness. And the blockages that would keep us from expressing the totality of what we are grow smaller and smaller and smaller. And that which we express grows greater and greater and greater. And we fill ourselves, we fill this sanctuary, we fill the city of Bakersfield, we fill the state of California, we fill the nation of the United States, we fill the entire earth and the universe with the light of love that it is. Because there is only one thing. So grateful for the power of the word. I'm so grateful that God is, that I am, that God is creative, that the word is made manifest. And so I release this word knowing that it is made manifest, that all truly is well. And I ask you to affirm with me, and so it is. Thank you very much.